Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A little more than a year ago, nearly a century and a half of memories went up in flames and smoke at Rockford Church. We go inside the progress to restore St. James. The Illinois Supreme Court upholds the state's assault weapons ban. We've got reaction from both sides of the issue. And a Wisconsin man gets a second chance at life. He says it's all thanks to doctors and the successful major surgery they performed. Good evening, I'm Eric Wilson. Mimi Murphy is out today. This week marks 1 year since a fire broke out at Rockford's oldest Catholic church. Nikel Delgado got a peek inside St. James. Nikel, how's it look?
That's right, Eric. A lightning strike started the fire last August. The pastor says it's been a year of hard work trying to bring the parish back to life.
It has been 1 year and we have done a lot. The day of the fire, obviously nobody could believe that it was happening. And the first thing that comes to mind is all the memories. And I think everybody was in shock.
Father Jonathan Sarmiento didn't know what would happen to his church after it caught the fire, but says the congregation stayed faithful.
We had remained strong, united, and we want to be back into our church. We're waiting for that moment, and everyone is welcome again.
Scandroli Construction has been working to rehabilitate the church. Vice President Anthony Scandroli tells me this project is personal. He and his siblings went to St. James as kids.
It's really special to be a part of it. We couldn't be more pleased. It's taken a year, but with, something like this, a rebuild like this, takes a lot of time.
The biggest concern was the amount of smoke and water damage. Crews had to gut the entire interior of the church from top to bottom.
So the whole interior is going to get put back together. So all new, drywall and new pews. The organ is getting reworked.
Father Sarmiento is happy with the progress made so far and looks forward to being able to once again worship inside St. James Church.
For all those who know St. James and are connected to St. James in different ways, just want to let you know we are here. I feel hopeful and the whole community is hopeful.
For now, Mass is being held in the Beauvais Center behind the church. The hope is to have St. James up and running again by next summer. Eric?
Thanks, Nikel. A Lake Geneva man is dead after an accident in Boone County. Around 1 in the morning, Boone County Sheriff's deputies and District 2 Fire were called to Route 76 and Woodstock Road. Investigators say Gregory Kritz was driving a motorcycle northbound on 76 when a Nissan Altima pulled out into the intersection. Kritz hit the Nissan. He was pronounced dead on the scene. Boone County Sheriff's Police say alcohol could be a factor. The crash is still under investigation. A 3-vehicle accident shuts down an intersection in Ogle County. The crash happened near Grubstakers at Illinois 251 and 64 around 11 this morning. 3 vehicles were involved. One was a semi. It slammed into the side of a red car. Investigators haven't released how many people were inside. Police on the scene described the crash as very serious. A blue SUV also involved had minor damage. The intersection reopened about 3 hours later. We'll provide more details as they become available. Illinois State Police arrest a man on more child pornography charges. Following an ISP investigation, David Cardenas Jr. was arrested on 2 counts of predatory criminal sexual assault and 2 counts of producing child pornography. Cardenas was already arrested by the Boone County Sheriff's Office on 5 counts of possession of child pornography. That was after investigators used a search warrant last month to check out his home. Yesterday, the Winnebago County State's Attorney filed charges. Cardenas' bond is set at $150,000. The Illinois Supreme Court keeps the state's assault weapons ban in place. That ban was a major campaign promise for Governor J.B. Pritzker. The effort was fast-tracked after the Highland Park 4th of July parade shooting last year. It's been entangled in a slew of legal challenges since then. The law bans the sale and possession of dozens of semi-automatic weapons typically used in mass shootings. It also includes a ban on large-capacity magazines. Downstate Republican lawmaker Dan Calkins originally sued on behalf of gun owners. His lawyers argued the ban violated an equal protections clause in the state constitution. State Senator Andrew Chesney from Freeport released this statement about the decision. He said, quote, I am disappointed, yet not surprised, that the highly politicized Illinois Supreme Court has chosen to act yet again as a rubber stamp for the Illinois Democratic Party. He goes on to say, as long as Democrat lawmakers continue to go after law-abiding citizens rather than the criminals who abuse their gun rights, crime in all forms will continue to rise. Governor Pritzker was happy with the decision. He said, quote, "This is a common sense gun reform law to keep mass killing machines off our streets and out of our schools, malls, parks, and places of worship. Illinoisans," he says, "deserve to feel safe in every corner of our state, whether they're attending a 4th of July parade or heading to work," and that's precisely what the Protect Illinois Communities Act accomplishes. Sports betting for June was strong in Illinois, even if it was lower than previous months. State took in more than $600 million in total bets for June. That number is lower than what we saw in May of last year, but it's a 6% rise from last June. Illinois only finished behind New York in total value of bets. Sports books in the state have profited nearly $2 billion since betting started. One Wisconsin musician is on an amazing recovery journey after a double lung transplant. David Furumoto is a bagpiper. He said one day he had a cough that wouldn't go away. David ended up being diagnosed with pulmonary fibrosis, a disease that scars your lungs over time. By UW Health, he had a double lung transplant in 2021 that saved his life. David says he now plans on living his life to the fullest.
I'm hoping to get back on the stage again, and because I belong to both professional unions with those two sides of the thing, I may be trying to get myself back out to the West Coast for a while, and then probably just come back when they need me to come back here to get checked up on. It's also tempting to think about actually going back home to Hawaii, because I guess, you're never going to escape that being home. I'll call it that.
David says he wakes up every morning and gives thanks for his second chance at life. The United States Supreme Court upholds restrictions on ghost guns, but firearm advocates say the decision violates their Second Amendment rights to build guns.
Our temperatures warmed up into the mid-80s today. That will potentially fuel some storms later on into the night tonight. I'll track those for you and let you know what the rest of the weekend brings coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Eric Wilson, Mimi Murphy, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
This week, the Supreme Court allowed regulations of ghost guns to remain in place. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms says the use of those weapons in crimes spiked by 1,000% since 2017. Washington correspondent Alexander Lermone reports on what those regulations are and what happens next.
The action taken by ATF will save lives if that law stays on the books.
The Biden administration's rules on ghost guns will remain in effect, at least temporarily. The rules say gun assembly kits do meet the definition of a firearm and can be regulated.
Ghost guns are very attractive to criminals, extremists, hate groups, because they're unserialized and untraceable.
The regulations will require manufacturers and sellers to be licensed and to ensure that ghost gun kits include serial numbers. And buying a ghost gun will now also require a background check.
They're allowing the process to go through the lower court.
Dave Workman with the Second Amendment Foundation says the term ghost guns is used to demonize a common activity.
Building firearms at home is a tradition that dates back to the colonial days.
He argues that letting ghost gun kits be untraceable isn't a serious concern.
That may be a problem with some people. With other people, of course, they want to have a firearm that can't be traced so that the government doesn't know they've got a firearm.
But the administration says that's the problem, because tracking down those who commit crimes with unregistered ghost guns is often impossible. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Humidity and temperatures climbed a bit today. Coming up, Jordan looks at whether that will be the trend this weekend. We do have a couple of chances for rain in the near future.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
After some early morning rain and even some cloud cover, we actually had a lot of sunshine for the afternoon. And that sunshine really helped to bring our temperatures up as we got later on into the afternoon. Things looking fairly clear at the moment. A few isolated showers trying to develop further off to our east. Those will continue to remain east as there's still some lingering mid-level moisture there, as opposed to locally and further out west, not a whole lot of cloud cover because that is significantly drier, especially in those mid-levels. However, our isolated chances for storms turn into a more widespread chance, at least later on here tonight with this next wave. That's along a cold front that will develop and eventually swing its way further off to the south and the southeast. That will bring us our next chance for rain and storms later on into the night tonight. There are still some questions as to how long this wave is going to kind of hold its strength before it gets to the area, but still something we will continue to watch. One of these computer models at least does have it lingering at least a little bit longer, but eventually breaking up by the time that it gets a little bit closer to the area. The main reason for this is there is another complex of storms further off to the south of that could kind of pull away some of that energy into that next wave of storms. However, even if that initial wave does not quite come to fruition, there could be a few isolated storms that develop as we get closer to the 2-3 o'clock a.m. hour before eventually starting to clear out. So if that initial wave that's currently in parts of Minnesota and Wisconsin holds its path at least a little bit further, then we could be looking at a slightly more damaging wind threat. If we have some of those isolated storms develop, especially it will remain a little bit more elevated in the atmosphere, that would lead to a locally higher hail threat toward the later part of the overnight hours. By the time we get to around 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow, though, things will remain a little bit on the clearer side. A few isolated shower chances by the time we get into Saturday night, going into the early part of Sunday with this next cold front that will be starting to swing its way through. Our severe weather threat, as the Storm Prediction Center has highlighted, going to remain, at least with our higher confidence, the further north that you get, especially because that's where that wave is going to be going, and our main uncertainty is how long is it going to be able to hold its strength. So the further north and the further closer to that wave that you are, the higher chance that you are going to be seeing, at least higher confidence that you'll be seeing some of those stronger storms. There is at least a little bit of a chance that some of these could linger a little bit further off to the south, but lower levels for severe weather threats remain at least further off to the south of our southern counties. The temperatures at the moment are in the mid-80s and dew points are in the 70s in a couple of spots. That will at least lead to some lingering low-level moisture that could at least initially produce some of those showers later on. But as I mentioned, drier air aloft, and that's showing up when we look at our SkyTrack camera overlooking the Poplar Grove Airport. That's where we're seeing not a whole lot of cloud cover, especially in those mid-levels. Overnight tonight, those chances for storms as temperatures fall back into the mid-60s. We are returning back into the mid-80s by the time we get into the afternoon tomorrow. A lot more sunshine sticking with us through most of the day after those early day showers and storms finally clear out. Temperatures into the mid-80s for the next couple of days into the weekend. Another chance for rain on Sunday, mainly late Sunday night going into the early part of Monday. That cold front, though, Eric, does bring our temperatures back into the upper 70s, at least for the next couple of days, before we slowly start warming back up next week.
Jordan, thanks. Scott Leber is next with sports. Stillman Valley had another very successful season last year on the football field. We'll see how the Cardinals are shaping up for this year.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Stillman Valley's football team is coming off an impressive season last year that saw the Cardinals defeat Byron and tied for the Big Northern Conference Championship. The Cardinals are eager to see what they can achieve this season. Let's learn more about them in our football two-a-days.
Here we go, ready. Hut, hut.
Mike Lawler is entering his 26th season as the Cardinals head coach. That continuity means we know what to expect from his teams. Physical play, an emphasis on the run game, a keep the chains moving attack, and more than likely a playoff berth. This is what Lawler expects from his players, whether it's 1999 or 2023.
They need to care, I think as much as anything in today's world that we want to care about what you're doing and that it's more than just about yourself and that you're representing your town and your community and so on. And then we demand that we try to play with great physicality.
The last couple of years, the Cardinals had the poster boy for physicality and big fullback Jory Spain. He scored 20 touchdowns and he was first team All Big Northern Conference last year. So who gets plugged in at fullback now?
We've got a couple guys that'll come along. Braden Rogers is one, Johnny DeClerc. We got a Brock Needs and Jackson Barrow. There's 4 of them there that are similar. Some are a little bit bigger, some are a little bit quicker.
Cardinals also graduated their speed back, Porter Needs. Keaton Rauman will bring some of that speed element to the backfield this year. Isaiah Harabia, Memphis Rowe, and Michael Orlando will also get reps at running back. The Cardinals are set at quarterback. Senior Braden Ingalls split time at that position last year and showed he's a smooth operator.
Having that experience, having played in those situations last year, I think it helps me prepare, helps me kind of calm the nerves a lot, and it also helps me keep, like, obviously as a quarterback you have to be mentally there, you have to understand, read defenses and stuff like that.
I think Braden, he's a very smooth runner, just very, very fluid and can change his speeds very well. He reads it pretty well, and he's got a nice arm.
The offensive line lost 2 first-team all-conference players, but senior Malachi Bagg, who was honorable mention all-conference, is back. He's comfortable with the players the Cardinals will plug in up front.
We look very good, and I think we have the talent to replace them. It's going to be hard missing them, but I do think we have the talent to replace them.
On defense, Blake Watson and Jacob Rhodes will be a couple of keys on the line. Rogers and Harabia will be keys at linebackers. KJ Chavers, Noah Latham, Rauman, and Engel will be the back line of defense in the secondary, along with Kane and McDevitt. Out tonight at 9 and 10, our 2 days will continue with the Belvedere North Blue Thunder. We'll be right back.
Our floor director Cole likes to call your forecast this week the Goldilocks forecast.
Hey, and that's exactly what it is. Not too warm, not too cold. We do have a few rain chances, which is kind of good news for everybody. It's almost a win-win situation. We do have some chances for some stronger storms later on tonight that we will have to potentially watch out for, with those coming in later on into the evening tonight. The First Horn Interactive Radar from Rockford, Auto Glass and More showing those coming in from the northwest. Some of those could be severe, but a little bit of a question as to exactly how long those will hold their strength before they reach the area. Some chances for damaging wind gusts and even some hail, especially as we get toward the midnight hour tonight. But things clear out by early tomorrow morning. A lot of sunshine. The warmest day on our 7-day forecast, 86 degrees. Otherwise, a little bit cooler as we get into next week.
Saturday's the pick day. Thanks, Jordan. Stay safe.